.602 Rose Show season-long picks for Grant's season of The Bachelor for the Rose League app. If you are not playing Rose League and you're seeing this video, it might be too late. I post this one very, very late. Season long is where the big dogs play. It's where the money changes hands. So I post my picks, but I post this video real late. But if you happen to catch this and you haven't done your season long yet, hop in there. The Rose League app is the best way to play Fantasy Bachelor. Season long is a little bit different. Season long is the traditional Fantasy Bachelor experience. You pick 5 and you do not change your lineup for the whole year. So knowing the narrative, knowing the spoilers, quite frankly, and knowing just kind of how this show likes to play games can be really, really helpful. So Ella, Dina, Juliana, Lydia, Zoe at 22 roses. Carolina, Alex, Chloe, Rebecca, Serafina, kind of in this next chunk from 21 to 20. Bailey, Allie Joe, Natalie, Rose, Vicky at 19. Alicia, Beverly, and Parisa at the bottom at 18. Now, these prices are set before night 1. So, don't read into the numbers here too much. Having said that, from this point on in this show, ultimate spoilers. I'm going to stop and pause right there. If you do not want to be spoiled for Grant's season of The Bachelor, click away from this video right now. Okay. If you are still here, you are interested in attempting to win your league. Now, spoilers will give you huge chunks of this, but it can only go so far. Things like correctly identifying the villain and the villain edit, taking into account how long the season is, and kind of weighing pros and cons on the girls that are left over is how you win your league. You have to have the winner. Make sure you have the winner. No matter how you build your team, you need the girl that gets proposed to. Full stop. It's worth too many points, too many episodes that they're in. And that's really the key thing for season long. I call it depth of competition. You want the girls who are going to be around the longest. The one exception to that sometimes is the villain. If you have a villain who hits early or gets really bad, the villain is another must-have on your team. But make sure you have your winner. So, Juliana is the winner this year. Lock her into your lineup at 22 roses. Have to have her. We don't need to discuss anymore because that's the end of it. She wins. That's it. So, where you have to go from there is start to work backwards from what you absolutely know. Use what you learned night 1 to kind of color where you have to fill in the gaps. So, looking at what we absolutely do know, we have our top 3. Right? The other top 3 are Lydia and Zoe. So, ultimately, we're going to try to fit them into our lineup. Where this gets kind of tricky is that Lydia is also 22 and Zoe is also 22. You're starting to see the pattern here. So what you really have to do is decide if it's worth it, because you're going to have to go down further to pick up other girls. Lydia, I think, has to get into your lineup. Lydia's going to finish second. I'll take Lydia over Zoe. I think Zoe is going to score more points in the short term here. Just because she's going to get into a little bit of trouble. She's going to get into kind of this quasi-villain edit, but I think it all comes to a head in episode 2 and then disappears. I think after that point, it's just not there. So I'm going to take Lydia first and second, but paid heavily for them. So the key then is going to be working backwards from that point. We're going to try to hit who I think is the actual villain. But first, there's a value play on the board. Parisa at 18, as I keep flashing myself with the damn screen. Parisa at 18 is somebody who I'm going to try to fit into my roster. She's top 10. Believe she's top 7 based on the information that we have. So being able to lock her in at 18 roses gives us some of the flexibility that we need, having taken 222 rose individuals. So give me Parisa. That is now going to leave us with 38 roses to spend on the last 2. Now, if your math is decent, you know that we are already in trouble. We have to shoot below the 20s. So we're going to be looking for 2 19 rose priced girls to round it out. I'm looking here at Natalie and Rose. And the reason for that is, number one, how they finish. Rose with a top 10. And where's Natalie? Natalie is going to come in also top 10. I believe they go home at the same time. They're going to be 8th and 9th. So if you're checking the math there, we have 1st, 2nd, and 3 top 10 finishes. The reason I'm going this direction and not with some of the other girls, I think Rose is going to have a quasi-villain edit on the other side of this thing with Zoe. I think it's going to up her screen time. And really what you're looking for is screen time. Screen time is points. So, Juliana, Lydia, I'm going to come down for Parisa, Natalie and Rose at 19 apiece. I think that's the winning lineup, unless we miss something. It's very possible that Lydia Zoe is a swap you can make. That's a good pivot. 3rd place finish for Zoe. So conceptually, she gets 1 fewer episode. But if this fake villain edit is more than we're thinking it is, or more than episode 2, if you think that Zoe's a bully for 3 more episodes, you should probably have Zoe in your lineup. If you think that episode 2 is the end of her villain edit, you probably shouldn't have her. And that's what I'm thinking, just based on the footage we've seen. I think all the big blow up between Rose and Zoe, I think it all happens week 2. But that is your pivot point. I could see that swap. Obviously, you can't get them all in without dropping way down. I don't even know if you could. 66 and 8. Nah, you couldn't even get them all in. So that's really the turn for me is the Lydia Zoe spot. Other than that, you really just depth of competition. You want the best chance at screen time. Your best chance at screen time is the people who are on the show the longest. So, a little bit of season-long strategy. Those are my season-long picks. Make sure you set your lineup. Make sure you join the big league because that's your chance at free entries if your season-long does well. Do not forget to set your week 2 lineups. And the week 2 pick show should be up on the channel already. So check that out as well. See you for the live show after episode 2. And thanks for joining us. 602 Rose Show. Good luck in your season long.